Guys, so recently I picked up a Huawei P20 Pro and I've been using it as my main phone, going back and forth with the OnePlus 6 actually. And I wanted to do a quick little video like reporting my experience with the phone, so like a real kind of user review with the handset. And overall I'd say it's a very positive experience. I think it's quite similar. If you've used the Mate 10 Pro, you pretty much know what you're getting here in terms of software. It's not stock, it's got the EMUI, which is good in some places and bad in others. One area where it's good, for example, is the gestures and stuff that you can do to like do a quick snippet of what's on the screen. An area which is bad, well, at least in comparison to the OnePlus, is, for example, if you've got two SIMs in the phone like I have here, it's very difficult to swap from one to another quite quickly, whereas on the OnePlus it'd be very easy to do that through the dialer app. So it has its pros and cons. It looks a bit ugly in certain places, but you'll live with it. I don't think it's quite as fast as what you're getting on stock Android, so maybe they could make it even lighter than it is already. The main thing that people would buy this handset for, though, is the supposedly best camera on the market right now, the triple kind of setup here, which I think one of them is 40 megapixel, the other one is like a telephoto lens, and the other one is like a monochrome lens as well. So lots of different technology in there, very kind of revolutionary, and props to them for trying something different. But I do have to say, comparing to the Pixel, which I've used, Pixel 2, and the Galaxy phones like Galaxy S8, the Galaxy S9, you do have to be a little bit more pro to get the most out of the camera. It's not one of these cameras which you can just point and shoot and always get a great shot out of, particularly with the auto mode here. I have found that it tends to not handle the HDR and the highlights as well as what you're getting on the Pixel phones. I can give you some examples on your screen. And also the video, while it's decent, is definitely nowhere near the quality you're getting on other handsets in terms of stabilization. And even on the OnePlus 6 you get 4K at 60 frames per second now. However, the real star of the show is the low light mode, which is this mode here, the night mode. I mean, that mode is absolutely amazing really compared to what I've seen on other handsets. It used to be on other previous Huawei phones, but before it was quite unusable because you had to hold down the button for such a long time. It was just quite clunky, but they've really sped it up now so that you just have to hold it down and then it'll do it within 3 seconds. And it gets so much light into the shot, and it makes for a really kind of nice clean photo in comparison to what you get on like the OnePlus 6, which is very grainy and poor quality. So that mode, I'd say, is worth the whole phone itself really. If they can make it even faster, then that would be great. I do think that the Pixel 3 might actually make it faster, but yeah, I mean, this is a camera for pros ultimately. If you're looking at tweaking the settings as much as possible, you're really going to enjoy the experience here. But for those who are just looking for point and shoot, it is quite a complex phone to actually master here. Other things to talk about here is the general day-to-day experience in terms of the battery. I think the battery is pretty good ultimately. I don't think it's quite as efficient as what you're getting with the actual OnePlus 6. I like comparing with OnePlus 6 because it's most direct competitor, if you ask me. I don't think it's got 4000 mAh battery, which should theoretically go on and on and on forever. But I have found like a heavy use day, you're going to get about the same kind of battery as a OnePlus 6, which has a much lesser battery. Maybe that's the Kirin processors. They're not that efficient, and also the gaming aspect. I think the Kirin processor isn't quite as good as what you're getting with the Snapdragon or Apple processors, so that's another thing to consider here. The screen is very good. It's an AMOLED panel, but as you can see from this extreme angle here, you are going to get a lesser quality display, I think, compared to OnePlus, Samsung, etc. The colours really don't hold as well when you're in the direct sunlight as well. You will find the image is a little bit worse, and I have been comparing them side by side. So it's a good screen, but definitely not the best that you can get on the market overall. The face unlock feature is pretty awesome, works very fast. You know, it's as fast as what you get on other handsets, but I couldn't get it to work in the dark. You know, some people have been saying that it works in the dark, but I could not get it to recognize me in the dark for some reason. So that's a little bit annoying, because if they could do that, then there'd be no reason to have like a fingerprint sensor at all. So yeah, overall, you know, I think it's a fantastic phone, but it's not without its flaws here. It's not the perfect camera, as many publications have been saying. There are certainly improvements to be made, particularly to the HDR and the video recording. But if you're looking for the best low light experience right now, I do think this phone has it. You know, it's absolutely amazing in terms of that actual mode. So yeah, just a quick little video here. I hope you find it helpful if you're still considering this one. It's certainly worth buying. Just make sure that you check out the Pixel 3. I think that one's going to become the low light king later on in the year. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.